Our road trip or the scratch off?
Well, pick up the Pennsylvania Lottery Big Cash Payout Scratch-Off game today. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Problem gambling? Helpline 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tune in to EcoWord Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 10 a.m. for the PA Lottery EcoWord Fact of the Month. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
If you have diabetes and you're on Medicare, you may qualify for a free continuous glucose monitor system. Managing your diabetes is crucial to your health. The new CGM systems can automatically manage your diabetes better for you. And by using a CGM system, you can eliminate forever one thing most people with diabetes hate the most: finger sticks. Now it's possible to manage your diabetes better, end the painful finger sticks, and get a new CGM monitoring system at little or no cost to you. We even provide in-home delivery and do all the insurance paperwork for you. Now is the best time to manage your diabetes better and get your continuous glucose monitored. Call now for details. 800-396-0150. 800-396-0150. 800-396-0150. That's 800-396-0150.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Welcome back to Love and Life. Again, I'm Roxy Fab, and I'm filling in for Carol Riddick tonight because, she's doing what she does. And we go back as well, so it's not like, you don't recognize and know that once in a while I'm going to fill in for Carol. But we've all been going through our own thing. I'm getting some feedback, Focus. I don't know if that's you but I'm definitely getting some feedback. Maybe turn something down. I'm not really sure. Hopefully it's not me, but I'm gonna turn something down as well. So yes, I've had my friend, relationship coach Focus James on here before, and I literally feel like she's someone that you could talk to all the time, like seriously, because it's not a week that goes by that something is not going on in your life that you don't, that you should talk to someone outside of your circle, and I said to myself, okay, you know what, with what's going on in my life, and I know a lot of other people are going through some similar things as well. I said, let me have her back on here so we can touch base on a few things today, because I'm going to keep her on here until we go off. So she's not going to get a little 40-minute today. 40 minutes goes by quick with 2 breaks in between and all that. I said, we just going to talk this out. We're going to take some calls if y'all want to call or comment, whatever we're going to do today. So welcome, lady. How are you today?
Hi, how are you? Hugs, namaste.
Thank you.
I've been thinking about you, praying for you about your father. And yes, we're going to do what it do. Whatever way you want to flow, I'm here to serve you and your beautiful audience and Carol's beautiful audience.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I know you have. I know you have. It's definitely a I'm trying to think. This is my first death this close. So it's definitely different for me.
Sure.
My grandmother was 97. So, I mean, I hate to be like it was expected, but she was 97. And my great aunt, my grandmother's sister was 102. So it's like, um, but yeah, so this one was definitely, I know some things are inevitable. Dementia is just ridiculous. Uh, but it just, like I said, it just went too fast for me.
Yeah.
I put my dad in the
Yeah.
hospital and he was fine. And then all of a sudden it's like he can't swallow. He can't. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Like it just went in literally in like a 2-week time span. It was just like, that day he had got up, got himself dressed, ate, and then all of a sudden it's like he's got fluid in his lungs. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, hold on, wait, what? What are you even talking? What? And I'm in Tampa, mind you, I'm in Tampa. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go home. So it was just a crazy, crazy situation. And I'm just, obviously still very unsettled with. And
Sure. You
but
are
I
allowed.
knew,
You are
yeah,
allowed.
yeah. But I knew that, I needed to reach out to a grief counseling because I was like, you know what, don't be in denial with that. I need to do that. And I didn't want to be, one of those people that are like, no, I just
Right.
no. I'm like, nope, this is my dad, and I am not happy. I am not satisfied. I am angry at a bunch of people. And I'm like, okay, this is all a nightmare. I'm gonna call my dad tomorrow. Like, he'll pick up the phone, everything will be good. So no, I'm just like, nope. I know I need to talk to somebody. So I did make that call today. And yeah, so then they're gonna call me. They'll give me a call back tomorrow, but I was able to talk to someone today. The hospice place has people in position for that.
Okay.
So that's the good, yeah, so that's the good thing about that. But people, let's talk about I need to talk about something a little bit more upbeat, okay? Because we can always talk about grief. I got too many people going through grief right now. And and y'all know, hey Laquita, hey Tiffany Rouse, what's going on? Hey Lily. You guys know, some of you guys know, living this single life is corny, right? It's boring. The summer is here, and now I'm just like, okay, so now I'm about to go through the summer. Now don't get me wrong, you guys. Mentally, I'm not even there right now. My whole life has shifted and changed differently. You know what I'm saying? So, but would it have been? I don't even want to say easier. Would it have been nice that while I'm dealing with all this, there's someone here who I could lay on and cry on or something? Absolutely.
Sure. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I guess, especially out here in Philadelphia, I mean, I didn't look up any statistics today, so my apologies, but we know the ratio from women to men is, or men to is ridiculous. It's more women out here than there is men. And it's just, I know, as far as always be upfront, I know, speak what you want, as far as, you shouldn't even be in a conversation with someone who doesn't want the same thing. I know I don't want to. How about that? I'll put it like that. Let me back up. I know I don't want to. I don't need to have a conversation with you and be all in depth if you don't want to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? That's not, I'm pushing 60. What are we doing? Why are we still playing? What is happening? And there's a lot of people out here that are still playing at this age. And is it, I mean, we can all make assumptions of why, but it's almost like, well, is it because that's just what they want to do for the rest of their life? Or they're based off of their foundation and their parents, or I don't even know what is going on, but it is the corniest, stupidest thing I've ever had to deal with in my whole life, that even the married ones want to play, and the single ones want to play. And what's happening? Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing wrong? Are we doing something wrong?
Yeah, well, yes, I would say in our society we are here in this particular country. It starts with a whole lot of history, first of all, not only our African American history, but many cultures' history who had to deal with enslavement, wars where hundreds of thousands of men went over, and now it's only moms. So now you have one parent trying to groom a child that requires two different genders to cultivate the skill set of what it is to perpetuate this society, which is for procreate. So you know how to be a man and you know how to be a woman. So that's why we got a lot of male princesses now who want you to buy them a drink first, call and text them first, date them, take them out on a date because they got mama and them raising them and not having that distinction that you are the pursuer. And they go, "Look, I ain't chasing nobody. Women chase me." The wrong mentality. Wrong
Right,
mentality.
right, because men are supposed to be the hunters,
Mhm.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. They like the men that I know,
Mhm.
like the pursuit,
Yeah. Yeah.
because because in conversations I've had with you on here before, I told you that back in the day I was the pursuer. You know what I
Right.
mean? I was that one, and then I had to flip it, and it was difficult because it was like, okay, so I'm flipping it and ain't nothing happening. Like, it was like, well, wait a minute. I don't even
Yeah.
like this. What is going on?
Yeah.
And then when someone would approach me, I was all like, like it had to look like, wait a minute, hold on, this ain't even right. Because it just didn't feel right to me because I was always the one that's like, hey, how you doing? Da, 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 da. I was always that initiator,
Yeah.
you know?
And that goes the roles being switched too, right? So the women begin to be the pursuers, the men begin to be the princesses, and then it's all out of whack. And then when the union attempts to happen, he wants to be the leader, but then he wants to do 50-50, right? Wants you to work too and kick out the babies. It's a lot of mixed signals and conversations that weren't had before we say I do. So it's a lot of ratchetness going on out there. Who's paying? Who's going on Dutch? And listen, this is not just about him paying. It's not just about him
Right.
being a pursuer. It's the essence of who we're going to be to one another, right? So when it's
Yes.
first closed, then there's no post about Cheesecake Factory or was it Del Fresco, whoever. Who are y'all to one another? Do you understand your role and the way your family is going to dance the dance of a male and female at the head and the help me? And many people just don't know what that looks like. So they're winging it and flipping coins, and even in a dating stage. So that's why it's so much unrest because nobody knows
Right.
what lane they in. Like, what lane am I in? And going back and forth. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's so confusing. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess I felt like I've always thought I was talking to a young girl not too long ago, and she kept saying to me, so I may have to deal with this even when I'm your age. And I
Yeah,
felt like, and I was like, girl, yes, they're acting the same at your age at the 20s
yeah,
than they are at the 40s and the 50s.
yeah.
And I mean, and I'm gonna say what Alfred Evans, who's tuning in
Mm,
via our StreamYard Facebook Live, he said it's a different world, and unfortunately, the values of the society have been compromised.
yes.
And yeah, and it's just a completely different situation. And now you've got people who, want 2 and 3 wives and want
Yeah,
to. It's
yeah,
so. I mean, I am just literally stuck. I'm
yeah.
just like, wow, I never wanted to die alone and be single for the rest of my
Sure.
life. I mean,
So
and I'm
let's
not.
talk about it because you don't have to, right? Because first of all, if you're not polyamorous, which means have multiple partners, that means you only want one person. So we only need one person for you.
Right.
No matter what the masses doing, we need to be found and put in a space for the man that you're looking for to find you. So that's the good news, and tell that young girl too. So no matter what the herd is doing, we need to find out where's the man because there's a universal law, right? Where there's a me, there's a he. Where there's a her, there's a he.
Right.
Right. So if you're wholesome, ready to go, want a one-on-one relationship, love and respect, there's a man that want that too. So all we looking for is him. So let's just move all the cloud and the noise out. I don't need everybody to want to be in a relationship. I just need
Right.
one. So where is he? And so shift our mindset. God, where is he?
Right.
Who do I need to be so that he and I can connect? Who do I need to become? Because a soulmate wants a soulmate, right? A soulmate wants a soulmate. Somebody jot that down in the audience. Put that note in there so everybody can read that again. A soulmate wants a soulmate. So are we ready to be a soulmate for someone? That means being adaptable. And could he coach you? Could she coach you? Could she say, I see what you're doing with your kid. I got a little feedback. Can I share it? Or are you, listen, we've been good before you. We'll be good after you. Right? Where are we? Are we really coachable for a man's man? Because a man's man comes to regulate, comes to set rules and boundaries and discipline. So us women say we want them, but when they show up, are we humble enough to take the coaching?
I don't know. Ladies, are we humble enough to do that? I mean, let's, if we're gonna talk, we're always gonna talk. Real conversations, honesty, because some of us aren't ready. Some of us, we're like, oh, okay, it sounds good, but no, like, you know what I mean? We have to be, the one thing that we have to do is that we have to be honest with ourselves first and foremost. And I did type a soulmate wants a soulmate, and I mean, I got to know that, ladies who are single, who are listening, or again, who are watching via our social media, are you humble enough to, want to get yourself prepared, make some changes to yourself so that you can have the person that you desire to be with? Because, I know we all have to make some changes.
We all have to make some changes. And I think that's part of the fallacy too, Roxy, that people think, take me as I am. Well, they're going to pass. They're going to swipe left. They're going to keep going because they don't have to take you as you are, and nor should they, nor do you want to, because if you're not growing, you're dying. So whatever you thought you've mastered, about a couple weeks out is old. You need a new goal to grow because you've mastered that and probably became self-righteous and trying to tell everybody else to do it, right? So,
right.
Your 3 today is just self-righteousness tomorrow for most of us anyway, right? So we think we mastered something. So it's so okay. And being coachable don't even mean you have to agree. It means you're receptive to take in. And he says, I think you're yelling at it too much. You might be being too rough, or you're not being stern enough. And now you go back and you contemplate it, you and your God, and you sit in your soul and your spirit, and you go, God, I asked you to send this man. I asked you to send this woman. They just gave me some guidance, give me some confirmation in my spirit. I'm open to navigating as a parent, because this is why we keep perpetuating and kicking out these kids that's not prepared, because there's a bunch of single parents saying, I'm not dating till they get to college. Well, you're causing them to be retarded when they get to college. They don't even know how to date and navigate, so they either sleeping with everybody or nobody, and they sitting in the corner watching everything. So they need to see you date. They need to see you hold hands. They need to see you break up, because this is not healthy. And you sit down and you go, listen, darling, Mr. G won't be around anymore because we had to decide that this wasn't working. I wanted marriage. He wasn't ready. And mommy had to make that decision. The gift we give our children to know that when something doesn't work, we stop it, versus acting like we don't have a romantic life at all for the last 20 years. How ridiculous is that? Right?
Yeah.
I want to encourage our single parents that it's a way to do it. You want to be discreet and not having, everybody flowing through your door. But it's no way your child should not be able to see that side of you, that you're lovable and that you know how to love, you know how to respect the woman. That's part of your duty as a parent. So get the boo loving. Let's get the dating out there, y'all.
I get it. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to keep going. I'm going to read some comments as well when we come back. But we're going to take a quick break. Once again, it's Love and Life with Carol Riddick. I'm Roxy Fab, filling in for her this evening right here on WURD Progressive Black Talk Media with my guest, Focus James, this relationship coach that's amazing. We're going to be right back with more after this.
We gathered real Pennsylvania seniors and asked them how they would benefit from an extra $1,000. Here's what they had to say.
Everything is so expensive these days.
Car expenses, repairs,
my groceries, heating costs,
medications. Sure, I could easily spend $1,000 like that.
Through Pennsylvania's property tax rent rebate program, eligible seniors and adults with disabilities could receive up to $1,000. Check your eligibility and apply online. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Make wearing your seatbelt part of your daily routine.
I can't start my day without my cup of coffee.
We all have things in our lives that become habit. I have to check social media first thing, and then I hit the gym.
Wearing your seatbelt increases your chance of surviving a crash by 60%. Visit PennDOT.gov/safety for more information. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Want the latest in WURD swag? Check out the shop tab on WURDradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. It's the shop tab on WURDradio.com. You can look good and show the world that you're all about Black Talk Media.
No, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Oh, you muted. You muted. You muted. You muted.
Muted. I am muted. I am so sorry because I was rolling. Welcome back to Love and Life. I'm Roxy Fab, filling in for Carol Riddick on Love and Life today. But before I get back into the conversation, I want to let you know about a new show we have. It's called Breaking Bread, and our own Tiffany Bacon is the host. So I want you to tune in to Breaking Bread every Sunday, where Tiffany will broadcast from a different restaurant, eatery, or chef's kitchen, where delicious delights and curious conversation are on the menu. Special guests will join Tiffany for brunch, where the conversations will focus on culture, business, health, and well-being, media, literature, and the arts. Break bread with us every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. So once again, my guest is Focus James, and we are just talking about relationships. And I know we're saying, we're women, so I know a lot of times we're talking about men, but men reverse it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Just reverse it. She's definitely touching on men too, but because it's like me and Quita are saying, commenting back and forth as far as it's just something that we haven't mastered. Do we believe we're coachable? I believe that I'm coachable. I definitely believe that they're will, I don't want to say fight back, but we're all going to push back on some things like, no, I really don't want to do that. But once you explain the why,
yes,
and it makes sense,
yes,
then it's like, oh, okay, I think that I can at least try that,
exactly.
because
I love that. And you got to know the type of learner you are. I'm a why learner too, Roxy. So if you tell me the why, I probably get on a campaign for you, right? If you tell me the why, but just to tell me something I'm not going to receive that as well. I don't have the buy-in, right? So you teach your significant other too how and when to tell you things. So here's a really, really good tip when you're in a relationship or dancing the dance of getting in a relationship as women, because a lot of us come across that we are not coachable, or we might feel like, I don't know how to say that. I want to just say what I got to say, right?
Right.
So you say your man or the person you're dating who has a very vivid ego. You say, listen, I want to say something to you, but I'm not sure how to say it. Is it okay if I just say it the way I can? And then you can give me some feedback on to say it a better way so you can actually hear me. So created a partnership. So he's now sitting next to you, virtually sitting next to you, listening to give feedback versus feeling attacked, accused, belittled, shrunken. He's now listening to help you know how to speak to him. So now you've created a partnership. So he's hearing you in two different ways. He's hearing what you actually saying to him, and then he's now hearing to teach you of what and how to say it to him. So you're creating this partnership and this dance, and it allows him to rest in the conversation for what he needs to listen to versus have his guard up like, here she goes. She get ready to rip me apart. She get ready to belittle me. You know, all of that, right? So you create a partnership. What do you think about that? You said, Quita, what you think about that? Roxy?
And I get it though. I get it because it has to be, like you said, it can't be, if we all haven't learned one thing, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, you know. So when we're talking in that attack mode or that very aggressive mode, or you know, it's not going to be received well from me or him, whoever's doing the, you know what I mean. And we have to learn to communicate better.
You know, we have 1,000%. So while we're dating, Roxy, it's important while people are sliding in each other DMs. That's fine. It's a great place to start, right? Actually, about a couple, my first couple that got married through my program, that's how he met his wife. He came to me as a single man, pretty beat up from the world of dating. We did the work. We did the shadow work. He slid in her DMs. They talked the first day for 8 hours. This is during COVID. But they talk to people do that before COVID, just so you know.
Right. Oh yeah, no, I used to do it too.
Some people got coaches out there, or gurus are teaching you should only stay on the phone this time and that time. That takes the authenticity out of the experience of discovering who each other. You should stay on the phone as long as you choose to, as an all the way live adult. And even as a relationship coach, I'm often saying, listen, take what I'm saying and apply it accordingly. I'm not word, I'm not Bible, right? You have to assess your variables that you have. But that is a fantastic way to meet someone these days. 1 out of 4 couples exist from the internet. So to think that dating online doesn't work or social media, the numbers say otherwise. But then get on off that social media, FaceTime, video chat, Duo, so you can see that person. Because to your point, we got the tonality, we got facial expressions, a lot of communication that's missed just sitting in the DMs. So you want to get face-to-face conversation even before you actually see each other physically.
Right. Wow. You know, I met, and I probably brought this up before. I know, oh God, when was it? Was it 2006? 2006. I met someone on MySpace. And I took a way back, right? I met someone on MySpace in like September, October of 2006, and we talked like every day for hours.
Wow.
And they lived in Dallas, Texas.
Nice.
And you know, we talked every day. So in January, we were like, okay, it's time to meet.
Okay.
And as much as we talked and text each other pictures and all those kind of things, I didn't have that anxiety as far as scared to death. I had that anxiety to, oh my God, I need to hurry up and meet this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I flew to Dallas.
Wow.
You know, he had a 2-bedroom apartment, so there was no pressure. It was straight up front, like there's no pressure. And so I set all my stuff up in the 2nd bedroom. You know what I mean? It had its own bathroom and all that kind of stuff. And it was a great visit. You know what I mean? And we stayed off and on, you know, I would fly down there. He came up, you know, back and forth. We did that for a while.
Wow.
You know, we did that for a while. And then it was just like, okay, well, you know, nothing's happening. You know, at that time he wasn't 40 yet.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just like, okay, I guess you need to experience your life because you're not 40, you know, all these kind of things. And it just fell off. But I haven't done online since. I'm like, nope. Because it was because it was such a good experience.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't work out, it was such a good experience that it was just like, you know what? If I have an experience that's terrible, I'm gonna be so mad. Like it was such a good experience. I mean, even when I got to the airport, I'll never forget it. It was snowing like crazy here. And I had Tim's on. Now I had on some slacks, I had on a blouse, I had all this layered jewelry. I was sharp. Okay. But I had on a pair of Tim's. And when I had my cousin drop me off at the airport, I took my pumps and I put them on the sidewalk and I stepped out of my Tim's into my pumps and walked through the airport. And I had on my sunglasses. I mean, I'm telling you, I was like Mary J. Blige coming through that airport, and we literally passed each other. And I remember turning around and he was looking at the board, and he had on a pea coat. I'll never forget it. Some jeans, some nice shoes, and I was like, that would be sharp if that was him. And because I love a man in a pea coat, child. And he turned around and he was like, Roxy, and I was like, Derek, and he was like, oh my, and then it was like the perfect Kodak moment, and it was him. You know what I mean? And like I said, and we did the dance for probably about a year, maybe a little bit more than a year. You know what I mean? It was good. He met the parents and and the kids and all those kind of things. It was good. It was just the distance, and nobody was moving. I wasn't relocating my kids at that time, and he wasn't willing to move up here. So it was just, it just phased off, and it is what it is. But it was definitely a good experience.
I loved it. I love it. Now I'm so glad you had that experience. But as a life coach, as a relationship coach, being my niche, I can't let you stay there. I can't let you stay there, right? I can't. Because in that case, we all had great intimate experiences. Do we not ever have another intimate experience? Because that one was amazing. We all had amazing jobs and professors and chocolate and ice cream. Do we never eat ice cream and chocolate? Because we like, after that piece of chocolate, there is no other chocolate, right? So you can still create amazing online dating experiences, right? Now, you don't want to tell the gentleman that story because he's going to be like, I cannot top the ghost of the past.
He can't.
I have no chance, so he's going to keep it moving, right? So the X stories stay in the X past. We don't want to share that too much. But I love that you said that because here's where a lot of people lie. They've experienced something amazing and the loved one passed away, or they broke up, and it might even have been amicable like yours. No one was going to move. And so now this ghost and this person that you're chasing after, and I'm not saying you personally are, but there's this this experience that you're longing for that will never really be recreated because you'll never be that age. He'll never be
absolutely.
Even if you reunite with him now, you won't necessarily be able to recapture that because y'all are different people now.
Right.
Different eras, different experiences. You still can create something sweet because that's my next question. Where he at? Is he married? Is he available? We got to find out.
I don't know nothing about him no more. I don't know where he's at, what he's doing. I don't know. But his name is too simple. So it's too easy. It's too simple.
You DM Roxy, okay? If you listening, anybody know him? Let's find him, right?
It's a dozen of them on Facebook. They all the same name. Like,
well, so you looked. Were you looking? Were you trying to find him?
Funny, I looked for a little while, and I think we were connected via Facebook at one point.
Okay.
And I'm not sure. Like I said, it was such a long time ago. I'm not sure what happened.
Sure.
But I do know that at one point we were connected via Facebook. Some people, and we'll talk about this because I'm gonna take a break, but some people have to be able to handle what you do in your life. Mm-hmm. Some people have to be able to handle who you are.
Okay.
And not I don't want to say your title, but your job. Some people have to be able to handle that. A lot of people can't handle certain things. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't handle certain things. Once again, I'm Roxy Fab. This is Love and Life with Carol Riddick, and I'm filling in for her today right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We'll be right back after this.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed on Reality Check.
John Donnenberg, he is the director of the National Economic Council for Competition Council Policy.
The new rules that the president and his Department of Transportation have put out over the last week are really designed to, end that sort of nonsense. And they are in two big categories. In the first category is disclosure. The airlines have to tell consumers upfront what it is they're going to be charged. Is there a fee for a first bag or a second bag or a carry-on? Is there a fee for a change or a cancellation? These sorts of things. And then the second one is on refunds. And the idea here is pretty simple. If your flight is canceled or significantly changed or your baggage disappears for extended periods of time, you get a refund. It's automatic. It's for what it is that you paid. and it's going to come back to you in cash or on your credit card, not chasing down vouchers, for months.
And that's your hottest 60 seconds from Reality Check on WURD Progressive Black Talk Media.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month free is brought to you by Comcast.
The temperature is going up, and that could mean your tech is getting hotter too. Here are some signs that your devices might be getting too hot. The device may actually become physically warm to the touch. Apps or other programs could start to freeze up. Basic functions can take longer than usual, or your laptop or smartphone shuts down unexpectedly. If you think your device is overheating, here's what you can do. Keep gadgets out of direct sunlight, especially in the car. Make sure your laptop fan isn't being blocked, and turn down the brightness on your smartphone or take the case off your device. This could also be your cue to take a little break for a while as well. And finally, make sure you're not resting any devices on your bare skin. You could actually get burned if your smartphone or laptop gets overheated. Keep your cool and stay safe this summer with your tech. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
Tune in this Wednesday at 10:40 a.m. for the Who Is AARP segment on Reality Check with Tanya Pendleton, featuring Angela Forshaw-Rouse. Learn about the many benefits AARP provides the community. Tune in Wednesday at 10:40 a.m. brought to you by AARP Pennsylvania.
Hey, Word family, mark your calendar for a special live broadcast event on Monday, June 17th from 1 to 4 p.m. We'll be celebrating the opening of JD's Auto Body North with a special conversation featuring Brother Shamari to mark National Men's Health Month. Word on Black men's health and well-being focuses on all aspects of Black men's health: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, collective, community, and more. Listen live on Word Radio or join us in person at JD's for food, drink, and connection at 2509-13 West Fletcher Street. Word on Black men's health and well-being is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery and JD's Auto Body and Painting. Join Brother Shamari and Word Radio at JD's on June 17th from 1 to 4 p.m. at 2509-13 West Fletcher Street. Or tune in live on Word Radio, Progressive Black Talk Media.
A lot of times I've reached my hand out to younger people in the gay community that just didn't have nobody to help them out, and they were down and out.
Did you know that the roots of the Pride movement lie in a historic riot? In the early morning of June 28, 1969, the Stonewall Inn, a renowned gay bar in New York City, was raided by the police. This incident sparked a series of events that led to the emergence of key figures in the LGBTQ Pride movement, one of whom was the remarkable Marsha P. Johnson. Marsha P. Johnson was born on August 24, 1945 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. She was an extraordinary activist, performer, and self-identified drag queen. The P in her name stood for Pay It No Mind, a motto that reflected her advocacy for living authentically. As a founding member of the Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, aka STAR, Marsha worked to provide shelter for transgender youth who faced rejection from their families. She and fellow activist Sylvia Rivera fought for safe housing for these vulnerable individuals. Aside from her activism within the LGBTQ movement, Marsha was also a prolific performer. She was a member of the drag group Hot Peaches and even became the subject of art pieces by Andy Warhol. Tragically, Marsha's life was cut short in 1992, and her death remains a subject of concern and ongoing investigation. However, her legacy lives on as a symbol of resilience, authenticity, and the ongoing struggle for LGBTQIA rights. This Pride Month vignette was brought to you by Comcast. Celebrating Black excellence worldwide and bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love
Love and Life. Let me make sure that I am not muted. No, I'm not. And I'm Roxy Fab, filling in for Carol Riddick. And I want to tell you about JD's Auto Body and Painting live broadcast. WURD family, mark your calendar for a special live broadcast event on Monday, June 17th from 1 to 4 p.m. We'll be celebrating the opening of JD's Auto Body North with a special conversation featuring Brother Shamari to mark National Men's Health Month. WURD on Black men's health and well-being focuses on all aspects of Black men's health: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, collective, community, and so much more. So listen live on WURD Radio or join us in person at JDS for food, drinks, and connection at 2509 to 13 West Fletcher Street. All right, right in Philadelphia. WURD on Black men's health and well-being is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery and JD's Auto Body and Painting. Join Brother Shamari and WURD Radio at JDS on June 17th from 1 to 4 p.m. at 2509 to 13 West Fletcher Street, or tune in live on WURD Radio, Progressive Black Talk Media. So, back with my girl, Focus James. We're talking about, we talked about my great experience with my friend Derek. And I will say that it's I don't want to say it's hindered me from dating online, but I think that since people lie so much, and this thing that they got called catfishing that I've like never ever done in my life, and I've always been like, why? Like, who even started that? Like, why do we start off lying from the gate?
Right.
So
Sure.
So I feel like after that, I was like, you know what? I'm cool, because I don't even want to deal with that type of catfishing situation. Like, not at 55. I don't.
Right. Sure. It's definitely those characters out there, but those are the same people that fudge their resume, right? We're gonna not get a job because we know people sitting next to us probably getting paid more than us because they fudge their resume, got to hook up somebody to call and get a reference, right? We're still going to utilize that tool to earn our income. Listen, 80%, the dating sites went up 80% during COVID. So that means, yes, it's insane, right? Because everybody was home. Everybody's home. So that means you have more prospects, but you also have more unqualified prospects. That's just the way it goes, right? So when I'm coaching my clients, Rox, I tell people, listen, it's just the way it goes. That's just how the rain falls on us all. So we can argue about those things and we can wish they went away, but the reality is it's going to be there. Catfishing is going to be there. So all you need to do is, hey, let's jump on Zoom. Let's FaceTime. Right. So all you have to do before I go out with anyone, I always do FaceTime at least about 2-3 times just to make sure the vibe is there. I want to honor your money. I want to honor our time. That's the way to let them know you're paying. I'm going to honor your money. I want to honor your time. And then we can see each other and make sure there's the vibe there that we even want to go out. Is that fair? Right. And I've never had a man tell me that's not fair. He absolutely wants to see me. He wants to make sure I'm not 200 pounds over what my picture is. So he's not going to tell me no. Now, someone that's catfishing will absolutely tell you no. They'll keep finding excuses, and then that's the person you need not to pursue. So that's an easy elimination in that way, right?
True. Didn't think of it that way.
Yeah.
Now
so
I know I was right. Now I know I was talking about there are people who can't handle what people do, or whether this person is more popular or makes more money or whatever the situation is, and now that again that you have all these lists on Facebook of where I'm not going to eat and where you have to take me and how much you need to be spending. Like, I just saw a list today and I said, nope, not even going to do it. How much you should be. I couldn't even, I just saw breakfast $50. Go sit down. Like, I said, wait a minute. Like, she had individualized how much she feels as though you should pay on every meal, on everything that you deal with when it comes to her. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, sis, sometimes breakfast is a biscotti and a coffee. Like, it just is what it is. Because it shouldn't be about me eating breakfast. It should be about us having a conversation. I can't. So how do with that part though, how should people, I won't even say women, I'll just say people, period, because I know that's a difficult thing for some people to deal with. I know a lot of people don't care. I know I don't care, but some people do.
Are we referring back to like, can they handle your title, what you do for a living, and so forth?
Yes.
Well, again, here's the good juicy news. Unless you're a polygamist, unless you want multiple partners, we only need one. So the majority could not know how to deal with your title. We're okay with that. It gets you closer to the one that does.
Yeah.
So you don't want to let that discourage you. It's a numbers game in a society. See, once upon a time, everybody dated somebody at the community center, the church, and their school, something locally. Literally, you could be on certain venues and see someone from a different continent. So although it gives us so much and so many opportunities to meet somebody, it also can be daunting because you can go on a site and it says 100,000 singles. So it could be a little overwhelming. But I want you to know, be who you are, right? And constantly reflect it, right? Because some people do flaunt and they lead. Right. And if my girl was on here, she always talks about it because when she came to me, she would say to men, I don't need you. I want you. I got my finances together. I'm taken care of. I don't need you for money. And I was like, just shoot yourself in the foot, girlfriend, and go get some Haagen-Dazs and lay under the carpet. Because ain't no man, only a male princess would that be appeasing to. All men want to feel needed and wanted, and he could know you make more money than him. But why are we announcing that on the first date? That's your ego inflating.
Yes.
And I'm trumping him, right? That's like trumping his wine choice, right? You just trumped his whole financial being, right? And told him you don't need it. So it's our way we present ourselves that's going to make the difference. Now, you still might be too much for him. You and I both got big personalities. So everybody's not going to be welcome into that. They want a woman that's more reserved, and that's okay. We want what he wants, which is go get that woman, right? Because that's not him, and I'm not shrinking for anyone, right? However, our presentation of who we are does matter. So you can't go around telling men, I don't want you. I don't need you. I want you. I don't need for nothing. I'm already taken care of. So he's thinking, especially a traditional man, what is the point of me? I'm obsolete from the door. You can get rid of me at any time. Where's my value? I don't hear my value, especially a traditional man who wants to provide mentally, psychologically, spiritually. If you're saying that off top, he can't even find himself. Like, why would she even want to need me? He's going to the house to present herself to make her feel needed. And I'll say this too, Roxy, because you are the CEO and the manager at your workplace or at your company, he ain't trying to be managed and CEO'd when you come home. And that's right. He don't need a manager or a supervisor. He don't need to clock in. As soon as you walk in the door, you want to go through a laundry list of stuff he should have done by the time you come home. Who are you talking to? It's full-grown man. That's not your employee or your employer, right? There's a different, and sometimes we need to sit in that yard and just meditate. Turn on some NDI, get touch base in our femininity. If we got 500 employees that we're running and we running things, and then we want to walk into our king and still have that, that aura, it's a turn off. And definitely, my ladies, Roxy, I tell them, don't answer the phone when you at work, especially my women that are leading in management. You are not allowed to answer that phone at work. Not if I'm talking, we got a relationship. I know she's on. So she don't need to answer the phone. She need to wait till she go home and shower, laying across her bed and go, now I'm ready, honey. Where she has removed that role to a certain degree and can tap into the being soft and connected to her wanting to be wanted. You can't be that when you're sitting at the head table in the oval table at a meeting. You can't be that.
No, you absolutely cannot. And I feel that. I get that. No, you can't be that. Yeah. No, I totally get that.
And let me correct that. Most people can't be that. They can't switch those hats. There's definitely some women that can do that, and I'm gonna stay to those. But most women, if she's a shark right now, she's making $1 million deal in the boo call. She's talking with vigor. She's getting things done. Do you got the restaurant? You know what restaurant I want. Make sure you get the flowers. That. There's no softness to that, right? So you got to know you and pump your brakes and go, honey, I'm gonna call you when I get in the car. You hear me, right, Roxy? Ladies, y'all follow me, right?
Right. Yeah. No, I get that. No, and that's true. I could totally understand how how that would just be a complete turn off. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't want him to do it to me either.
Correct.
You know what I mean? We have to flip that a little bit. If he's the vice president,
yes.
You know what I mean, and he's running the whole team, I
Yes.
don't need him coming home, like boom, 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 and it then it's like, oh, pump your brakes,
Yes.
baby, slow down,
Yes.
wait a minute, like I'm not on the staff, so I
exactly.
right.
Yeah, and we all need to be able to, especially in this era where most people that are in management, you 24 hours. They got your email, they got your text. I was gonna say beeper. I'm dating myself.
It's all right.
They got ways to get in touch with you, and depending on how much money you make, they expect to have access to you 24 hours. So it can be really challenging to be in a relationship or attempt to date and be in a relationship because you're always on.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And I think that, and I believe that I have a lot of friends who are like that because they're running their own thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I could see that. I could definitely see that happening.
So we got to schedule it in, right? I just dropped in our comments a little snippet, excuse me, I made on YouTube that entrepreneurs need love too, and so we got to schedule it in, right? We schedule in our executive coaching that we do with our executive coaches to set up our quarterly goals. We schedule in our dentist. We sure enough not gonna miss our children's recital. What schedule? If you look at the last 6 months, where do you see slots where I'm going on a date? You might not even know who it's going to be, but this is a slot for you to go mix and mingle, to even get found, because you can't be found if you're nowhere to be found, right? If you're only in church, school, home, and work, the possibilities are a little thinner. But if you go to a mixer or speed dating and get yourself seen, you can possibly be found. So you have to put that in there as an entrepreneur. Where do I go where I can be a single male, a single female, and be able to flirt and not thinking, oh, HR, right?
right?
Right, might come looking for me if I'm flirting with somebody, right? But where could you go where you could be free, to be a single person looking to be in a relationship?
Oh, I may have to go to a mixer, a single mixer or something. That would be kind of cute. And it's funny because I've never done it. I've never done speed dating either. So I think that would be kind of cool. Something different to do, something I've never done before.
Really? I would totally see you with doing something like that and be fun about it too. Because you're bubbly. You would be really good at something like speed dating.
Yeah, no, I've never done that. I've never done it. I have to figure out even where to find those things.
Right,
you know what I mean? To be able to do those.
Now, I'm not getting paid for them yet, but Meetup is phenomenal. Meetup has virtual and face-to-face speed dating and any kind of hobby you can think of, Roxy. So if you want proximity and you want to meet people to do what you do, go to Meetup and type fishing.
Done Meetup. Right. I think I'm logged into Meetup. Well, I think I've tuned into Meetup. It was years ago, just looking for music events. Right. So so I'm definitely aware of that. Okay. Yeah, I think that would be fun. That's something different to do.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be my next venture. Yay. Just to feel it out and get the vibe. You know what I mean? Because I don't have to commit to anything I don't want to do. You know what I mean? I'm in control of me, so I can still be able to go and see what it's like and see the vibe. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Exactly, I agree. Did I answer your question about your title and?
Yes,
you are. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. No, you definitely did, and I think that I believe that it's funny because I had it in the back of my mind that a lot of us another issue that some of us have, and you guys please feel free to call in if you like. You can always call in at 215-634-8065. I forgot to mention that. I'm sorry. 215-634-8065. You can always call in if you like. That it's like again, some people are on our live page while we're doing Facebook Live, and some people are listening via the radio, but we do have someone who is a friend of mine, a personal friend of mine as well. I call her Quita, and she basically just says she just doesn't think that she's met that right man yet. Her possibilities are slim. She also needs to find out where the mixers are. I'm definitely going to look that up.
Yeah.
But I think that I believe that we are just not going to the right places to meet the person that we want to meet. You know, I really do believe it. I really do believe it. I know I used to go out a lot and, you know, life happens and I just fell back from a couple of things. So you're right. I go to church. I work from home anyway. And I go to events that I want to go to, or if I'm working. And other than that, I'm not outside, you know, like I said, but I know that that's my choice right now.
Sure.
But I feel like it's not going to be that. And I'm not, and please know that I'm not knocking any establishment. So I won't even say a name, but it's not going to be that hood event that's happening on Shelton Avenue. Like, it's not going to be there. It's not going to be there where, as far as I'm concerned, where I'm going to meet the person who I want to meet.
Yeah, let's keep talking it out. First of all, you're there. So if you're there, there's a male there that's your opposite. Because why are you there? Maybe a best friend, a sponsor, you're supporting someone. That same type of personality will be there as well, right? So I want to assert that. So you're looking, it's probably the owner or a sponsor or one of the vendors that own their own popcorn company, and he's out there with vending. So it might not be a regular folk, right? But it's going to be a business owner, an entrepreneur. So you look for him, right? So it all, depending on what you're looking for, that's what you look for wherever you are. Now, you said church. Now, I got to tell a lot of my ladies, if your church don't got a singles ministry, if you got the same 10 men in the same males choir for the last 20 years, I know you love pastor, but pastor going home to his wife. You need to find a church that's thriving with single people to give you the potential to match your spiritual belief. I know you love pastor, but we got to sit down and get strategy to get men in the church. Otherwise, right? Well, I praise the Lord. I'm glad you're going to church every Sunday, 52 Sundays, 3 hours in a row, and ain't no man there. That's a problem. We need to sit down and have a board meeting and figure out how we gonna make the church grow and thrive, because this is part of the strategy of evangelizing, right? So true. Help them get some men in that church. Otherwise, you might every other Sunday go to your sister church who does have a thriving singles ministry that you can actually find a man in. Because what is the point? I mean, praise Jesus. I don't know, but I'm not going to a church where it's the same 10 males. And I want the whole package of what it is to worship and to praise and to fellowship and commune and grow and thrive. When the last wedding was at your church. We definitely have more single women than, I don't even know any single men in my church. I really don't. Exactly. I always see, every man in there is with a woman. There's a missing piece then. So I'm, to grow the singles ministry, and that might be your calling or someone in there. But I'm not going back to a church 3-4 times and it's the same men. I'm sorry, that's not my ministry. Praise Jesus.
Right, but I guess with that, I know that I'm not going there for that. So I feel you. But if it's there, it's there. But if it's not, that's not. You know what I mean? That's not my.
Because that's right. The purpose of church is to congregate and evangelize. So it's not even just to marry and meet a single person. Where is the evangelism? If it's the same 10 men, we are supposed to go and bring sinners in to get saved. So that's
facts. Okay.
Trying to hook up. That's a bigger problem. But where's the leadership? Where are we passing down the mantle when the pastor passed away, right? Where's the growth? How are the young boys being trained if it's all these single women with these that have all these kids? Who's helping to raise them as Christian men? Where is the leadership of men? You understand? You hear the
I get it.
There's a whole lot of stuff in there that's missing.
I get it. So you guys look. I go to New Life Kingdom Center. It's 2 Edmonds Avenue in Havertown, PA. All right, it's in Delaware County. All right, we start at 10:45. I get there like 11:45. All right, let's keep it 100. You know, we need some single men to come up in there, come visit. My pastor, this is bomb. Okay, he's 50 years old and he's bomb. I'm trying to tell you, he is bomb. And his wife, Pastor Trina Davis, is bomb too. So slide on through if you're single and you're a sinner. I like it. This is Love and Life with Carol Riddick. I'm Roxy Fab filling in for her. And we're going to take a quick break. Malcolm White, Temptations or Champagnes, I Love You to Death. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
June is Black Music Month, and this year, the WURD Message in the Music series presents Trans-Afro Express, the global impact of African, Caribbean, and African American music. Join us on Friday, June 14th from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live, 3025 Walnut Street. This event features a panel discussion, live performances, and the flyest Afrobeat, reggae, hip-hop, and R&B dance party in Philly. If you love to dance and you want to learn more about the global impact of our music, then join us Friday, June 14th from 6 p.m. until 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live. Admission is $20 in advance, $25 at the door. Get your tickets now at WURDradio.com. This Black Music Month event is in partnership with Fun Times Magazine and brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery, Comcast, Keystone First, and Pico.
My grandma could always tell when I was into something dangerous. She used to say, mess around if you want to, you gonna fool around and find out. She was right, and nothing good ever came from ignoring her advice. That's exactly how I feel when I hear somebody telling me to vote for Trump or just not vote at all. It wasn't that long ago that our parents and grandparents had to fight in the streets for basic civil rights. We can't forget where we've come from or how quickly things can go back if we don't stand up for our rights and the rights of the next generation. Joe Biden, he's not perfect, but the choice is clear. Our votes elected Biden, and he's shown up. Billions in loans to Black small businesses, banned police chokeholds and federal no-knock warrants, canceled $167 billion in student loan debt.
Let's get this done.
Our votes have the power to determine our future. Make it count or fool around and find out. Paid for by Black Pac, which is responsible for the content of this ad. BlackPac.com, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Tune into WURD Radio this Thursday at 10 a.m. for City Council Live, hosted by Ernest Owens. Join conversations that matter to your community with your local City Council members.
White people go around, it seems to me, with a very carefully suppressed terror of Black people. They don't know what the blackface hides. They're sure it's hiding something. What it's hiding is American history. What it's hiding is what white people know they have done and are doing. White people know one thing. They know they would not like to be Black here.
James Baldwin is a name we will never forget in literature and civil rights. Born August 2nd, 1924 in Harlem, New York, Baldwin emerged as a profound voice of his generation. He fearlessly addressed the complex intersections of race, sexuality, and identity while adeptly writing about social injustices. An essayist, novelist, and playwright, Baldwin's esteemed works still hold truth and meaning today. Some of his most notable works include The Fire Next Time, a scathing critique of American racism through two letters, one addressed to America and the other to his nephew. Giovanni's Room, now considered part of the LGBTQ canon, Giovanni's Room explores a story of same-sex desire set in 1950s Paris. And Notes of a Native Son, an insightful collection of essays about race, popular culture, and more in America and Europe. Baldwin's activism was not confined to the page. He was known as a prominent civil rights and gay liberation activist who paved the way for Black queer thought, writing, and art. His legacy lives on today as we celebrate the brilliance of our Black LGBTQ ancestors. We wish all of our LGBTQIA listeners a month filled with joy, celebration, and pride. This Pride Month vignette was brought to you by Comcast.
Right, when we're not looking. Right.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Welcome back to Love and Life. Once again, I'm Roxy Fab, filling in for our girl, Carol Riddick. And Alfred Evans says, I predict that match we look for will be by chance when we are not looking. I used to think that too. A lot of people say it'll happen when you're not looking, but will it be the person that you want and need when you're not looking?
Yeah.
I just feel like you got to look for what you want. I don't know. I guess I've done enough sitting back and waiting for a very long time, and I'm kind of over that now. You know, I've been to enough, so I I don't know. I guess that's where I'm feeling like that. I'm gonna wait till we can see each other as well. Right now, it'll click back together in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, I just feel like that's just where I'm at with that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like we have to. Yeah, I just feel like we have to, especially at a certain age. You know what I mean? We have to stop sitting back and just waiting by chance or waiting for, you know,
Yeah.
just walking around like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for the universe to drop him or her right in front of me. Like I know that's not what we're saying, Alfred, to be that childish about it. But I just feel like it comes to a point where we definitely have to go look for what we want. That's
Be
all I'm saying.
intentional. Yeah, be intentional.
Right, that's the word.
We don't just wait for a job. We don't just wait for a business. We don't just wait for a dog. We go out and decide, we research what kind of dog we want to purchase, right? We don't wait for groceries to show up. We're intentional.
I wish we could wait for groceries and gas to go up. I wish we could just wait and say, gas, drop in my car. Like, what?
Exactly. So it's really a way, I think it's a way to deflect from responsibility of taking my life in my hands, right? So get where you can be found. If you are a believer, we have many examples in the Bible. One that very prominent, which is Ruth got where she could get seen by Boaz if you are a Christian. But I just did a post, and to his point, I just did a post in one of the pages called Purpose Marriage or something like that, for those men who said they saw their wife, they knew the first time they saw their wife that was going to be their wife. How, right? Over 300 some likes, hundreds of people telling stories about how male and female knew as soon as they saw them. You got to be seen. You got to get in the world so that you can bump into someone, get into the groove. If you like riding motorcycles, become part of a club. If you like to cook, become part of a cooking club. Get in your life and move on purpose. And it won't be by accident. It's because you're in your purpose, and then you'll connect with that soulmate, if you will. So that whole laid back, God ain't gonna pull back the roof and drop them in your church or your job, if you will. Those are great places to still meet people, no doubt about it. But it can't be just the only thing you're doing and thinking that you're just going to meet that person. Because a lot of people. Go ahead.
And trust me, that's how I want it. Don't get me wrong. I do just want to sit there and be like, God, just drop them in that pew right on over there. Just go ahead and do it. Next time I come to church, when I come back next week, just have a new person sitting right over there to my left, and the third pew from the right. And I wish. I really want it to be that simple. I really do.
Right. I love it.
I do.
That's what happened. It still happens. I love that. And we just know we still got to be intentional. I wouldn't leave it to chance. I'm not rolling the dice my whole love life to that. I'm not rolling my dice to my resume, just sitting there. But now that it's done, no, you're going to put it on Indeed. You're going to tell people I'm looking for a position. Here's what I'm looking for. Just like any other way that we're going to do it in life. Roxy, your girl asked a question, and I think that was pretty good. Is more men now asking, which I think is male princess energy. They're asking, what do you bring to the table? And a man's not asking that, because first of all, his philosophy is, I can hear your actions louder than your words. A man's man, no, I gotta watch you to see who you really are, because everybody talking know what to say. So this is what I mean by the church and the responsibility of men raising men. They'll think like a man, which I know you can tell me whatever you want me to hear, and you're going to say whatever you want me to, but I'm going to watch you as a female. When we're riding together in the car, are you gazing kind of hard watching the men? Your eyes keep catching in the cars, right? I don't know if you loose or not, or you still searching, because I'm going to see how long you staring at the waiter or the maitre d' or the gentleman walking in. So you telling me you this loyal woman, I bring loyalty and honesty, I could cook and clean. We'll see, because as life evolves, but most men are not going to ask, what do you bring to the table? That's just not the vibe of a man's man. Hey, fellas, you give a vote. Is that something you all say? I can't imagine.
Exactly.
I'm not even answering that question.
Right.
I'm going to. Do women answer that question when you ask them?
I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
that's what I would say to the gentleman. If he asked me that, do women actually answer that question when you say that?
Right. Right. True.
My response would be, I'm sorry, I'm not going to answer that. I know you know that it's better to see versus than just somebody to tell you. Would you agree?
Right.
That's how
No, I definitely agree. Yeah.
here now. I would say that to the gentleman is what I'm saying, Roxy. I'm doing a little role play. I'm sharing with women. This is how you respond to that. I'm not sitting here now trying to prove why I am the prize. That's where you're reversing men. You're reversing the role and causing her to pursue you by asking questions like, what do you bring to the table? You're reversing the role. You're taking her now. She got to prove and hustle and hunt and tell you why she is the fair lady. No, that's out of order, and you're shifting it. And you're wondering why you don't get women who are submissive. You're taking them out of that role and putting them in something else by having those types of conversations that's not meant for you to ask the lady. You're thinking everything's not equal in relationships. Everything is not the same roles for the relationships. And we messing up. We messing up when we ask those kind of questions. You're throwing the whole vibe off. Did I answer that, Keita? Did I answer that, Keita, for you?
I have never even thought about that. I guess because I've never had anybody say, "What do you bring to the table?" I'm like, "What?" I guess my thing is, "What? What are you talking about?" Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of them women, or these, like these young girls. I'm bringing me to the table. I'm bringing. I'm not doing all of that. I'm not.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not doing any of that. Like, if that's a question that you feel as though you have to ask me, then we're already not compatible.
Because there's so much after that I think your philosophy is going to be so off about what it is to be my man and what I'm supposed to be your woman. We're probably not going to match because it's such a deeper conversation going on. If you're asking me that, like, why would you try to get me to prove that in this conversation?
Excuse
you know
me.
what I mean?
I did have, now it's funny because I did have a friend on here who's a coach as well. And he literally did say that women should ask the guy, why should I date you?
Exactly, because that's the role. We are the person that's going to go through the resumes and interview you to see, can you take care of me, provide for me? If we have children, am I safe with you on the 9 months where I'm the most vulnerable in my life, that you're going to protect me? And if I can't jump back in the workforce because now I have postpartum depression, complications, our child really needs me, we really got it. We're the most vulnerable in the relationship at all times because we're going to have to stop our career, especially if it's childbearing years. We're going to have to stop our career. You got to keep going, and you probably want to. But no matter what ladder I'm climbing, when I get pregnant, people look at me different. Even if I think I still want to climb the ladder, now I got to prove even more and maybe got to go take 2 seats because my feet won't start swelling. So women are more vulnerable in a relationship, than a man. I'm not talking about cheating. I'm not talking about a woman stealing your money. I'm talking about the basic rules of how relationships work, our safety and what we give up to bear children and run a household is going to have more of a, rolling the dice that you can actually take care of us and not get us pregnant and leave. And now we got to take care of the child. So this is not like trying to compare to make them look smaller. That's not what this conversation is about. It's just the of what a relationship runs like, right? So it's so appropriate to ask, how do you, what do you bring to the table? What, why should I date you? How will you enhance my life? These are real questions to ask.
Right, for the woman to ask and not the guy to be asking. I get that. Yeah. Okay, I get that.
He's gonna watch anyway. Like for my son, I grew my son. He's a full, grown man now. But I let him know you watch. You have to hear what she's not saying is what you're looking for. Because women know what to say to tinkle your ego and make you feel strong and I just need you, right? But when something pop up at your job and you got to call her, is she there to listen? Or is she telling you man up? If she's telling you man up, she's not the one. You need somebody that can know how to comfort you just as much. So I digress. I'll get off of that soapbox, but I'm really passionate about that.
No, but I get that though. Though. Yeah, because I've always felt like that too. Like if your man, loses his job, you just rolling.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, everybody's going to have a period of, depending on how long they were there, everybody's going to have a period of quote unquote mourning. You know what I mean? If they were at that job for a very long time, predominantly all of their lives or whatever, a man may have a period of mourning, so he may not want to work right away. He may, you know what I mean? So, are you able to get things in order and hold it down?
Hold it down, because that could have been attached to his identity that he now don't even know who he is.
Right.
So you'll have to be able to be strategic and speaking life into your man to go through the 7 stages of mourning, just like anyone having someone transition. A job can represent community, all kind of levels of identity. So yes, you need a woman that know how to speak life into you. And if you're just dating her and you got a problem and her response is man up, to your point, Roxy, she's gonna be no good if you have a major life change. She's gonna be like, get over it. Let's get over it.
Right. So did you look, child? Like, look, was you online looking for another job? Did you find another job yet? Like,
yes. How cold is that? And
girl,
if you go to your woman, where are you going? To another woman, most likely.
Right. Yeah. Because you got them. Like, so did you know you got to get a job by June 30th, right? Because rent is due on the 1st.
Right.
Child.
Sometimes you are going to need to have some tough love, but it's going to be, again, in the way that you can build him up and like, baby, if you did that for 30 years, you can find something else to do for another 30.
Exactly.
You mastered that. People loved you on the job. You were an awesome manager. The next job is not going to, they're going to be so happy they have you. They're going to be sad that you lost it, but they're going to be happy it's their turn now to have. You hear that? All that says get a job without saying getting a job, right? So we got to use wisdom as women and men to speak life in our significant other.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I get it though. I get it because I could hear it now. It's been like 3 months. Like you said, the people have to go through their
drop the hints that is like 3 months, right?
Right. Like it's been like 3 months. You still ain't working yet. But look, but yeah, I mean, look, that severance package is about to expire. Like you about to use all of it. But no, I get it though, because like you said, it's just, it's a transition. It's a transition as a life transition. It's all a transition, and people need time to figure out, okay, what's next? You know what I mean? Now that that's over, what do I want to do with the second half of my life? Do I want to do the same thing? Do I want to do something different? Do I want to start a business? It could be anything. And we definitely have to give that grace to allow that person to open up, talk to us about it, and explore that if that's a possibility. So
I love it. So back to that young lady who's talking about you got to spend this, that, and the other. Run, because she's not going to be there for you with that transaction. She'll be like, listen, now we always go to the frescoes every 3rd Friday. I know you lost your job, but you got to figure it out because I always meet the girls there for that. She's not going to care that. She's going to disregard all of that and like chop. You got to keep my lifestyle up. So run from that kind of young lady. It's not going to be healthy for your soul. It's going to make you feel
she is.
You're going to constantly be running for paper to try to keep her, and that never feels good.
Crazy. Is that crazy? I mean, that girl, I was trying to find the list that she put it on. Here it is. The minimum a man should send for me. She said, spend for me. Breakfast $50, lunch $80, gas $100, brunch $150, dinner $200, nails and makeup $250, outfit $300, wig and install $400. She said $40 is never acceptable ever in my life. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break. That is crazy. This is Love and Life. I'm Roxy Fab, holding it down for Carol Riddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're going to be right back after this.
Every day, thousands of Comcast engineers and technologists like Oluseyi put people at the heart of everything they create.
Some of my favorite moments throughout my life are watching sports with my dad. Now I work at Comcast as part of the team that created our AI highlights technology, which uses AI to detect the major plays in a sports game.
And now, millions of sports fans will never miss a moment. Visit ComcastCorporation.com to learn more.
Hey, this is AJ with your Penn Medicine Cares and the Community Updates. This June, schedule a free breast cancer screening with Penn Medicine in your community. Penn Medicine, in partnership with Siemens Healthineers, the Community of Christian Compassion, and The Fresh Grocer, are offering free breast cancer screenings with Siemens state-of-the-art mobile mammography van from June 3rd to June 14th. The screening van will be located at the Fresh Grocer parking lot, 421 South 69th Street in Upper Darby. Exams take less than 10 minutes. Private changing rooms are available, and translation services will be on site. Registration is encouraged, but walk-ins are welcome. Don't delay. Early detection saves lives. Call 267-414-2205 and register. That's 267-414-2205 to register for your free breast cancer screening with Penn Medicine. At Penn Medicine, our mission is improving the health of people we serve. Visit pennmedicine.org/community and learn more.
Courage. I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand.
You hold my hand.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
It's too black, which means it's too strong.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black talk media, WURD.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Welcome back to Love and Life with Carol Riddick. Again, I'm Roxy Fab, holding it down for her this evening. Now, we were talking about this list that this woman who went viral, she put up. She gives the guidelines of how much money men should spend. And yes, it went viral because it's, some women agreed, obviously, and, a lot of people do not, and as well as myself, there's things that we should always take care. My thing is this is how I've always felt. I'm going to always eat. If I'm a breakfast person, I'm going to eat breakfast. If I'm a lunch person, I'm going to eat lunch. I have a car, so I'm always going to put gas in it. I was never a brunch person, so it's not that deep. If I'm going to eat dinner, I'm going to eat dinner. I always get my nails done. I do my own makeup, so I don't have to worry about that. I shop myself, and I buy my own wigs. Right now I have in some twist, but even still. So those are things that I provide for myself on a normal. They're already in my quote unquote budget. So I don't expect him to come in and now I don't have to pay for none of that. It's just not my thing. And if he says, hey babe, let me put gas in your car, that's great. But I don't say, you should be putting gas in my car every Friday. And I get my nails done bi-weekly on every other Thursday. And ladies, these are things that you've been doing. They've been in your budget. Let a man offer to want to do that for you. It shouldn't be, these are the requirements. And if you don't do it, that's it. And that's that. One car that I have, it takes $50 to fill it. The other car I have takes about $25 to $30. What do I need $100 for? What's happening here? What are you driving that needs? Right. I think that some things are just absolutely ridiculous. So anybody who's following, and don't get me wrong, it's and I hate to be like that too, but it's some young girl, it's not someone who is, it's some young girl giving out those guidelines. But I just, even for people like my sons though, my sons are 30, 31 and 22, they're supposed to listen to these girls with these kind of guidelines.
Yeah.
And then if they don't, they're, it's like if the girl kicks out these guys, yo, sis, I'm not with that. Oh, you this, you that, making them try to feel small.
Exactly. Yeah, it's pretty sad to have these type of demands. First of all, it's no decorum. Why do you have to write that list and publicly put that out there?
Exactly.
Back in the day, the woman have a man build a whole roof for him. And just bring him out of that's my man. He know how to make Martha. He making our roof tonight. She knew how to speak life into this man. He ain't know how to make a roof. He calling Uncle Bernie over and Bubba from down on. Man, my wife want me to do a roof. Y'all got to help me figure out this. I don't know how to make a roof. He wanted to please his woman so much. Men now that really honor and reverence their woman want to please her. He wants to take her to the best restaurants he can afford. You don't need to make that a demand. The way you uplift him and make him feel like a king, that he's seen, that he's heard, that he's honored for who he is nothing that man won't want to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't got to give him a laundry list. A man that's on his job and he's really into you like that, and when you call him and you speak in life into him about his job, his workplace, his mom, and you can be a good listener, he's going to want to do for you. So to have that laundry list from the door, it shows, in my opinion, no decorum. And let me just say this, ladies that are listening. The men that see that list and still date you, I don't know a healthy man that could even afford you, and so much more will pick you. He's not. He's only going to pick you if you're a trophy woman and he wants to look good with you on his shoulder. That's it. He ain't looking for you to mother his children, unless he's just looking for some good DNA. But he's not looking for you to be like a partner, someone that he's adoring and love. He's looking for a trophy wife. And what do they do with trophy wives? When you get in the house, you sit her on the top of the shelf and show it to everybody. But there's no real connection. And that's what you're doing. You're saying, I want to be a trophy wife, because he's not going to trust you. And because you need a lot of trust when it comes to marrying a woman. How's she going to raise your children? How's she going to treat her mama, your mama? How's she going to treat your home when you're not around? It's a lot of character, integrity, and trust when you go to pick a partner. So if you're starting off with a laundry list of financial stuff, you are definitely canceling yourself out for the healthy, wealthy men. You'll get the wealthy men that, that's the equivalent of them paying for intimacy. Right. So it's going to be a shallow exchange. So I just want to say out loud, you're not putting the right fishing net out there when you put those kinds of conversations out.
I feel that. I totally feel that one. Wow. I feel that. Yeah. And I mean, it's funny because I've never even looked at it like that. Because like I said, I see these lists and I'm like, girl, what is going on? Yeah. Because it's funny because you only see a man respond with a list once a woman puts these things out there. You know what I'm saying? And men are just doing it just to be doing it. You know what I mean?
Well,
They're just.
I think it's the male princess energy, because a man's man is not sitting there writing a list. He got stuff to do. He living his purpose. He got to go take his mama shopping. He got to take care of his kids. He writing a letter because he's trying to get a grant for business. A man's man is not going to sit there and now counteract a list. That's that male princess that want to argue like women argue, want to bicker and be right and go at it, right? But a man's man, he's not trying. He's trying to grow his business. He's trying to go play basketball to blow off some steam. He's not sitting there arguing with other women about should you get their nails done. So they're all. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see men. The man's man is not sitting there in the comments
feel that
back and forth. He's not going to do it. He think he's going to pass you. And these ladies on these pages, you got to realize when you're making these posts in these major pages, it's 75,000 Black Christian people and all the healthy men, you just told them, not you. When you're throwing out types of verbiage, they're going, oh, not her. When you're arguing with the other ladies, they go, ooh, she too much. I know she gonna argue with me. She on social media where it's stamped forever and not realizing how combative she is. I know she gonna give it to me. Next, you're literally crossing yourself off of these men's lists and the men. The right. When the women see all of that, they're like, he more sassier than me. And I'm not even talking about sexual orientation. I'm talking about the energy you're exuding. I can't follow a man. You over here arguing with women 5 and 6 comments down. I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
It's not attractive at all. So gentlemen,
a lot of men like to do that. Yeah.
It's not attractive at all. For if you're seeking for a woman that you want her to reverence you, be submitted to you. Most women ain't submitting to a man that's arguing, going back and forth with other women. It's such they want you to be more stealth, right, Roxy? And have more, calmness and a peace about you. Or like I said, what I said. And that's A man's
And
man.
that's it.
What I said.
That's
He's not going back and forth and round
right.
and round. That's that male princess energy.
I feel that. I feel that. So, Focus, before I let you go, please give us information of how we can follow you, how we can hire you, how we can do all those wonderful things.
Absolutely, guys. Well, first of all, as you can hear, my passion, I love love. So you can follow me at the Focus of Love right on YouTube. I'm growing that channel over there. So I do everything relationships, any topic you want to hear about, I'll definitely share to the best of my knowledge. And I've just married my second couple, Roxy.
All right.
I helped a lot of singles get in dating arenas. I help a lot of divorced people get healed. But this is my second couple that actually got married through my program. So I'm so grateful for that. It's a big honor. So if you're looking to get married, at whatever stage of relationship, I got you. And you can go onto YouTube and see the different clips I have. So thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure. Guys,
yes.
Touch, follow me on all social media, either Focus James or the Focus of Love.
Y'all better do it. Y'all better do it. Now, you guys know what I do at the end of every show. We read something called a daily Om, and today's is called Finding the Place You Belong. So there will likely be times in your life when your soul evolves more quickly than your circumstances. Your subconscious mind may be ready to move forward long before you recognize that you are destined to embrace a new way of life. Your soul intuitively understands that changing habitats can be a vital part of the growth process. And there may be one part of you that is eager to move to another home, another state, or another plane of existence. But the ties that bind you to your current mode of being can make moving into this next stage of your life more challenging than it has to be. If you find it difficult to move on, consider that just as people in your life may come and go, your role in others' lives may also be temporary. And many of the conditions that at first seemed favorable no longer serve you. When you're ready to match your situation to your soul, you will find that you feel a new sense of harmony and become increasingly connected to the ebb and flow of the universe. Moving on can be defined in numerous ways. Your forward momentum may take you from your current locale to a place you instinctively know will be more nurturing, comfortable, and spiritually enriching. Once you arrive, your misgivings will vanish and you will know that you have found a sanctuary. Similarly, subtle changes in your values, goals, or emotional needs can motivate you to distance yourself from one group of people in order to reassociate yourself with individuals who are better able to support you. For example, this could mean moving away from your birth family in order to find your energetic or spiritual family. The route you need to travel may not always be clear. You may feel inspired to change, yet be unsure as to why or how. Clarity may come in the form of a question if you're willing to seriously ask yourself where your soul is trying to take you. Moving from one point to another when you feel strongly driven to do so is a way of bringing your spiritual and earthy energies together. It is a two-step process that involves not only letting go, but also reconnecting. You will know you have found your destination, physical or otherwise, when you feel in your heart that you have been reborn into a life that is just the right shape, size, and composition. I'm Roxy Fab. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. This is Love and Life with Carol Riddick. Again, I'm Roxy Fab, filling in for her today. And God willing, I will be here on Wednesday, June 12th, with John Graham. We're going to have a great conversation as well. Again, thank you so much. This is WURD, WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM, 900 AM, and always online. So make sure you're following us on everything social media. Have a great night. I'll see you soon.